Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the Victoria Police Centre. Are we all ready to go? Yes. Okay, thank you. Jason Kelly's my name. I'm an Acting Commander with Victoria Police's Crime Command. I'm here to discuss a week of action that occurred last week relating to illicit firearms both here in Victoria and nationally. I'll start by acknowledging that illicit firearms related violence is one of the most significant issues we face as a community. We understand the community concerns, and Victoria Police are doing everything possible to target those responsible and prevent community harm going forward. So as a result of that issue, last week Victoria Police, in partnership with both other state and Commonwealth agencies, conducted a week of action, and some significant results were achieved, and that includes 15 search warrants executed across the state, 35 arrests made, and 161 charges laid. Over 140 firearm prohibition order compliance searches were conducted, and a further 2 firearm prohibition orders were served. Police conducted, importantly, 607 firearms compliance storage inspections across the state. As a result of the operation, we seized the following significant amounts: nearly 100 firearms, illicit firearms that is, and 94 of those in particular, and another 6 that were 3D printed firearms, which I'll talk to in a moment around the issue of 3D printed firearms. We also seized 45 firearm parts on top of the nearly 100 firearms. We seized 13 gel blasters and imitation firearms. Various firearm accessories and ammunition was also seized, including prohibited weapons, including conducted energy devices or CED devices, and 3D printed crossbows. Along with that, those seizures with various drugs of dependence. Nationally, the results have been provided in the media release, so I won't go through those. But what I will say is that in 2025, we've had a number of homicides in Victoria that are directly related to the discharge of a firearm. On average, we have 1 non-fatal shooting per week in Victoria, and that's been a consistent statistic for the last couple of years. Some of the key messages I'd like to get out is that the National Illicit Firearms Working Group, or formerly known as Operation Athena, is designed to target the trafficking, manufacturing and importation of illicit firearms throughout Australia, and involves all policing jurisdictions as well as a number of federal Commonwealth agencies. A significant amount of work has gone into the week of action, including by our illicit firearms squad, which was formed in 2020 by Victoria Police, so we had a focus on illicit firearms throughout the state. The support of local police has been significant, and our results would not have been achieved without our local police, both uniform and detectives, analysts involved in this particular operation. Safely and properly stored firearms are crucial. Any legally owned firearm can very quickly become an illicit firearm if not stored correctly. Each category of firearms licence in Victoria has specific storage requirements, and any firearm holder who is not complying with those faces criminal charges or suspension or cancellation of their firearms licence and the seizure of those firearms they've purchased legally. Anyone who wishes not to own a firearm, whether that's a firearm they've purchased legally or a firearm they've come into possession of that is illicit, can hand in a firearm under the National Illicit or Firearms Amnesty that is coordinated by the Commonwealth, which is an ongoing amnesty. Now, details in relation to surrendering firearms can be accessed online, and either through Crime Stoppers or a simple Google search of amnesty. And firearms can be handed in at licensed firearms dealers, those who are participating, or as a secondary option, your local police station. And I would encourage people to approach those licensed firearms dealers in the first place, and if they're unable to do that, to contact their local police station to make arrangements to hand those firearms in. Firearm offences relating to non-compliance of storage requirements increases the likelihood of a theft of a firearm, and we see that on a regular daily, weekly basis where firearms that are not secured properly are stolen. So the importance of people maintaining the discipline of putting their firearms away, storing them appropriately, and separating ammunition is paramount. Also, the manufacturing or possession of any type of firearm without a licence is illegal, and that includes 3D printed firearms that can also kill. What I would like to say is that the work of the Illicit Firearms Squad in coordinating the National Week of Action has been significant. I'd like to acknowledge Detective Acting Inspector Amanda Cohen and Detective Acting Superintendent Julie MacDonald from the Illicit Firearms and State Anti-Gangs Division. These weeks of action take significant amounts of coordination, working in with our Commonwealth partners, the Australian Border Force, the Australian Federal Police, and also New Zealand and all other state and territory partners. The support again of our local police has been pivotal to the success. I might open it up for questions.
Why is it important to have a national week of action, not just one here in Victoria?
Look, there were two main objectives of the week of action. The first one being the fact that people believe they can import firearms or firearm parts or accessories into Australia, into Victoria. The simple message is if you do that, you will get caught. And we work closely with the Australian Border Force, and we have referrals that come into Victoria Police that the detectives of the Illicit Firearms Squad put all the pieces of the puzzle together and execute search warrants and hold people to account who do that illicit activity.
What's your message to people who have firearms at home, and I guess your message to people who know of people who have illicit firearms?
The message is really simple. That is, illicit firearms in the wrong hands can kill, and they do kill. As I said, we've had a number of homicides this year that have been from firearms being discharged, and we have on a weekly basis, unfortunately, a number of people who are shot here in Victoria. So the simple message is, hand them in. Get them out of the cupboards, out of the roofs, out of wherever they're being hidden. We have the national amnesty on at the moment where people can, as I say, go online and hand those in to licensed firearms dealers. Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you very much.